Mark here, and welcome to the 10 Acre Woods. You'll notice that Tara is not here. She is busy getting things ready to go over to the neighbor's house. And by the neighbor's house, I mean our son's new house. So our son Braxton and his partner Braden bought 5 acres, 4.87 or something, just at the other end of our service road. So Tara has been very excited about that, and it's a nice little homestead. The previous owners had some horses in there. Braxton's partner Braden is he's a plant guy. I can't think of the agronomy, I think it is, which is the study of plants and seeds. So down the road, what they'd like to do is, of course, they'd like to get some animals as well, but they also want to put up some kind of greenhouse. So it's a nice little property. The house needs a little bit of work. So we were over there last night helping and cleaning and getting things all straight away. And today they're getting a U-Haul and they're moving all the larger stuff from the city out to the house. So I think this is the first night that they're going to be actually in their house. So it's been busy, so this video might not be as long as my normal ones. Tara's just loading up the tractor because 3 o'clock is when the boys are supposed to be out. So Tara can't wait. She's like, I'm loading up the John Deere riding mower and the trailer for it, load it up, and she's driving down there. So she's going to go down, she's going to do some yard work there, do some mowing, and wait for them to arrive. So we had a big storm a couple weeks ago. It was the 9th of June, I think it was. Big rain. We had another one hit, and actually a tornado. I think they called it an F2. They were it hadn't been confirmed, but I believe it's an F2. Hit the southwest corner of the city of Winnipeg. So there was quite a few roof damages. There was one house that it just ripped the whole garage up and did some pretty good damage. I took some footage of the rain happening here. This area, which is our driveway, you can kind of see the swale that runs here. The water had just filled up all throughout the special pen. Okay, so Tara's heading off to do some lawn care at our son's new place. She's all loaded up. Right. And you have drinks?
I do.
Yeah, good.
For those that don't know, Tara used to be a landscaper. So did Mark. We both used to be landscapers.
Yeah, exactly.
So, heading to the neighbors.
So, yep. So she's going a quarter mile. How fast can she do the quarter mile?
Ready?
Go for it. Imagine it's.
I'm so excited!
Imagine it's probably gonna take her probably 10 minutes anyway. Yeah, she'll make it. She's got extra fuel. Fuel tank on the tractor's full, and she has some reserves in the tank. There she goes. Tara the landscaper. So it's now the next day, because it was such a busy day yesterday, unloading everything, moving the kids into their new house. It was so hot. It got up to 31 degrees Celsius. And we got home and it was like crash. We watched a movie in the air conditioning and relaxed. So I'm here now Sunday morning, and so this is the house here. So that's the highway up there. So our property is 600 meters away. So these trees were here before the house was extended, obviously, because the garage is actually tucked in behind this tree. So we have an arborist coming out this afternoon. So I think we're looking at taking this tree down, so that they can actually go into the garage. So this new section was built, our understanding is 2010. The new section was built. And the old section was 1977. And of course, I'm in the asbestos and mold industry. So I checked it out and everything looks good from that point, because 1977, anything pre-1980, pre-1990 if you're looking at manufactured items like flooring and such. So we're going to clear this stuff up here. This tree is one that is likely going to need to go. I'm not sure what type of tree it is, but it's big and it's just a little too close to the house. So getting that out and away from the house. This oak can probably stay. It's not too bad. And then grading. So this is a crawl space underneath the new section, and the grade here is just too low with a spout coming out here. So we want to keep as much out of the crawl space as possible. The sump pump is working hard these last few days because of all the water, right? So getting that graded up. So this is, I believe, 4.87 acres. So you round it up, you can call it the 5-acre woods. Their woods are over in that section. It did come with a trailer, a Starcraft. This is one thing I did yesterday as well. I popped it up and had a look at it. The interior is in pretty good shape. Some of the zippers and Velcros need a little bit of work, but hey, so he's got a little trailer as a bonus. The well is over there, and the septic field is over there, which I think by code needs to be at least 100 feet away. So we have to test the water just to make sure that everything's good there and there's no cross-contamination. We also want to get the septic field checked to make sure that it is fine. There was some wet areas around it, but we had a lot of water recently, so that may have been the issue. So the property line is over there. There's a fence line just on the other side of that picnic table. This is a beautiful maple. This is a keeper for sure. So this one over here is, what is this one? This is a oak. So it's a nice oak as well. And then they've got their bush line in here, which they can keep as a bush line for now if they want. This homestead was set up for horses. So there's a pen here. There's a number of different pens, and there's electrical that runs back here. Now, if you remember, you've been watching us, a couple of years ago, a year, 2 years ago, there was a fire on a property, which was this property. And they had a barn back here. And the problem was that the fire trucks could not get in because of a lot of those trees in the front. So all the fire trucks were lined up on the service road because they couldn't get in to get back here and put out the fire. So that's going to have to be addressed. Now this is the site of the former barn. It's just now a concrete slab. There is water here, so that's kind of nice. So there's a water spigot here. Not sure how everything's plumbed up and wired up, but that's handy. So they also have electrical. So it looks like there's a couple different lines of electrical. Again, there's some kind of weird electrical stuff going on over at the corner of that tree. There's some wires sticking out of the ground with some electrical morettes on them as a connection point. That's going to have to be addressed for sure. Another small pen here, and lighting. So there's lighting here, and there's actually lighting. So that tree line is the property line, the tall trees, and on the other side of that are the railway tracks. So the CN, Canadian National Railway, is running along there, and there's a pole right back there with a light on it. There's also this building here with another light on it. So there's electrical that comes back here, and it's a little mucky back here because of all the rain that we've gotten. You can see the horse manure there. So that can sit there for a couple years to compost, and then it can be used good for fertilizer. You don't want to use it first year because it can burn your plants. I think it's too much nitrogen, I believe. But that's the tree line there to the other neighbor's property. So there it is. It's a beautiful sunny day today. It is supposed to be 30 again, 30, 31, something like that. This is another really nice tree here. Again, I'm not sure what kind of tree that is. It almost looks like it almost looks like it's got maple. No, it's not maple, but if you know what it is, let me know. Yeah, there's the leaf. So it's shiny. It almost looks like a poplar, but poplar are smaller. Yeah, there's a lot of poplar in here, as you can see. This is all poplar. So the questionable area on the electrical is right here. You've got this concrete cylinder, and you look in here and you're like, oh, is that their connection? Well, that's going to have to be put into a waterproofing box and done properly, because that's not quite right. And it's something we found here and there around the property, just some do-it-yourself stuff. So it needs a little bit of work. Some of the trees that are dead need to come down. There's a few of them around, just some general upkeep. We do, of course, have our wood chipper, so Tara's going to bring the Kubota over and do some, she's going to cut down some, once the arborist is done, cut down some stuff. And wood chip. Bring over the wood chipper as well. You can see here's a pile of branches that can all be wood chipped. Get that all cleaned up. So yeah, Tara did mow yesterday. This was quite long, and she did some nice landscaping, or the start of some landscaping. Yeah, so that's about it. There it is. Yeah, and there's that big tree. It's massive, but you can see how close it is to the house if that were ever to fall or anything. Plus, you have to look at the root system. So this end of the house is slab, and this is crawl space. So if the roots get underneath that slab and start heaving things up, it's just not good. So there it is. That is our son's new property. So Braxton and Braden are inside having coffee. They had their first morning, the first wake up, and there's lots of things to do. So Braxton's got the week off, and of course we're just down the road, so I'll be back and forth helping him out as well. So that is it. We're all very excited. I was just getting ready to head out, and I missed one thing. So here's the trailer that we looked at. So her boys were hockey boys. So this is an old ice rink that will be repurposed into something else that'll come out. And then there is, what do they call this? The wood shed. Now this has electrical coming into it as well. You can see how it looks like probably her boys did some electrical work themselves. Ran this up and ran one, stapled it to the tree for lighting. So there's some questionable electrical here as well. And I've turned off the electrical to a lot of the outdoor areas until we can reassess it. So this here is, we're thinking, because the boys want to get some chickens. So I think this will be a great little chicken coop. So it was just used, I don't know, it looks like this is a skate sharpener that they had here. So this was kind of and there's a bunch of chains for a chainsaw. So I don't know what size they are, if they'll fit my chainsaw or not, but they can all be sharpened. And then they've got just an old door sitting there. So this can be great to repurpose for, I would say, a chicken coop. Oh, look at that. I didn't even notice that. There's actually a bed frame. One of those, little fold-out bed frames. Huh, okay. I guess this is the guest room, maybe. This is where the guests sleep. Inside light, outside light. So everything looks to be wired up pretty good here. They have a little bit of a loop on, not much, but it looks like this was done by somebody that kind of knew what they were doing. But then it's the add-on electrical that we're concerned with. So there is some water damage in areas, so we'll have to check. Actually, the ceiling looks pretty good. Actually, it looks newer. Maybe it was replaced at some point. But there it is. So there is possibly the new chicken coop back at the house, and Tara is trimming her vines. Or what are they called? Virginia creeper. I always forget that for some reason. So she was waiting to trim until the boys moved in because they wanted some, but they have some.
They have more than I do.
Yeah, so they've got a bunch over there. So she's now going through and trimming. And as you can see, it has grown over considerably. This, we're going to actually put an arch over top of this, so it's arched and it'll grow around it instead of going into the cave to the back door. But
that'll be the fun one to get to.
So the other project that we're working on is we have our well here. And it just had some old wood that was kind of rotting, and there was some weeds and sunflowers coming up. I think there was actually a raspberry bush in there. So she wanted to clean that up, and we decided let's repurpose some of our blocks because our retaining wall is just too high. It doesn't need to be that high. Well, we got a good deal on it. We bought like 12 pallets of discontinued color for a really good price. So we bought it all. So what we've done is we've, of course, put it around here to make a nice well, kind of classic well top. And then here, this is going to be framed out and there's going to be a roof on it. Now, we did run electrical out here when we were building the house and getting that all in just to have electrical. So then what I'll do is I'll run an electrical outlet that will be underneath the shelter of the roof. So that is the next project. There's or the current project. This piece here, I think what she's going to do is she's going to wrap some rope around it and then kind of hang a bucket. Maybe have some flowers in it or something. Not sure, but we'll update you on that when things happen. So that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a little different than what we normally do, but it was an exciting weekend having our son and his partner move in just down the street. So it's still going to be a pretty busy weekend. There's lots of stuff to do, and it's a hot one. So that's yet another thing. You know, getting outside when it's hot, you have to kind of make sure you hydrate. Anyway, the U.S., it's, I guess, July 4th, Independence Day, so happy Independence Day to you. We had our Canada Day on Wednesday, so we had that day off, and we got some stuff, good to relax, and got some stuff, a little bit of stuff done around here. Of course, there was rain off and on. Do it while you can. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a comment down in the comment section if you have any questions, or if you want to say hi. If you're not subscribed, click on that subscribe button. Although if you made it this far, you're probably subscribed. Anyway, take care, have a wonderful week, and we'll see you next time. Bye.